You know that feeling when you are clearly overwhelmed? Maybe you're physically carrying too many things, or maybe you are quietly drowning under an impossible deadline, and someone kindly asks, "Do you need a hand with that?" And without even thinking, a reflex fires in your brain. "No, I'm good. I've got it." Even though your chest is tight, even though you are exhausted, even though you desperately do need a hand, you smile, you adjust your grip, and you keep going. Most people never notice how quickly that happens inside you. It is not a conscious choice. It is an automatic, visceral rejection of support. From the outside, society looks at this and claps. People call you resilient. They call you a self-starter, the strong one, the person who never needs to be managed, who always figures it out. They assume you just like being in control, or that you have impossibly high standards and simply prefer things done your way. But that is usually a profound misunderstanding of what is actually happening. This isn't about ego, and it is certainly not about wanting to do everything yourself. It is about the psychology of people who never ask for help. Sometimes clinical psychology refers to this as hyper-independence. And if you are someone who would rather endure almost anything than admit you need assistance, there is much more going on beneath your "I've got it" than people realize. When we look at this through the lens of neuroscience, we find something fascinating about how the human brain processes safety. There is a concept in behavioral science known as social baseline theory. In a well-known study out of the University of Virginia, researchers placed people in an fMRI scanner and told them they were going to receive a mild, uncomfortable electric shock. When participants held the hand of a stranger, their brain's threat response lowered slightly. When they held the hand of someone they loved and trusted, the threat response plummeted. Their brains registered social support as a literal reduction in danger. For most people, connection equals safety. But if you are someone who never asks for help, your nervous system often operates on the exact opposite logic. Your brain does not register reliance on others as soothing. It registers it as a threat. When someone offers to help you, or when you even imagine asking for it, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, spikes. To your nervous system, allowing someone else to step in means giving up the only mechanism that has consistently kept you safe, your own self-reliance. You aren't avoiding help. You are avoiding the physiological panic of vulnerability. This kind of wiring doesn't happen by accident. Our brains are deeply pragmatic. They adapt to the exact environments we give them. In childhood, a developing nervous system learns the rules of survival by observing the adults around it. If you grew up in a home where your caregivers were emotionally unpredictable, overwhelmed, or absent, your brain took notes. Maybe asking for help meant you were met with a sigh of frustration. Maybe your needs were treated like a burden. Or maybe you simply realized early on that the adults in the room couldn't handle their own emotions, let alone yours. So you adapted. You learned to tie your own shoes early. You learned to soothe your own tears. You learned that the safest way to exist in the world was to need absolutely nothing from anyone. Over repeated life experiences, this ceased to be a conscious choice. It became an ingrained survival strategy. Independence became your armor. It is important to say this clearly. This response is not better or worse than any other adaptation. Some people respond to early environmental stress by becoming highly dependent on others, constantly seeking reassurance. Some respond to withdrawing entirely, and some respond to becoming radically self-sufficient. Different people are simply wired differently based on what kept them safe. There is no right or wrong side of this spectrum. Hyperindependence is not a character flaw. It is a highly effective, intelligent adaptation created by a nervous system that was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. But here is where the psychology gets deeply layered. There is a quiet paradox in the lives of people who never ask for help. They are almost always the first ones to offer it. If you are hyper-independent, you are likely the person everyone else comes to. You are the fixer, the listener, the one who drops everything to support a friend in crisis. You are exquisitely attuned to the unspoken needs of the people around you. You give the exact type of care you secretly wish someone would insist on giving you. But this creates a profound hidden cost. When you are always the capable one, people stop asking if you're okay. They assume your competence is the same thing as your well-being. This leads to a very specific kind of isolation. It's the loneliness of being deeply relied upon but never truly seen. And physically, this takes a toll. The continuous effort to manage every burden alone increases what neuroscientists call allostatic load, the cumulative wear and tear on your body from chronic stress, the jaw tension, the disrupted sleep, the low-grade exhaustion you can never quite shake. That is the biological price of an armor that you never take off. If your body reacts to the idea of needing someone with a tightening in your chest, you are not broken. Your experience makes perfect sense. Your independence is a brilliant, beautiful thing. It is a testament to your resilience. It built your life, it protected your heart, and it carried you through moments when no one else was coming to save you. This way of being has deep value, and you do not have to discard it or feel ashamed of it. Your armor is yours. It earned its place. But there may come a day when the weight gets just a little too heavy, and when that day comes, understanding where this fear of asking for help comes from is the first quiet step toward letting someone else carry a fraction of the load. If this resonated with you, there is much more to uncover about how our past writes the silent rules of our present. If you'd like to explore that further, stay with me. There is more here to quietly understand.